Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to review a book that was a recommendation to me from my priest. It is called Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. So, this book was written in the 1950s, I believe. Excuse me, copyright 1966. So, in the 60s. It's a New York book. So the setting takes place in New York, which I have a lot of fondness for. I lived in Manhattan for 9 years, so it brought back a lot of memories. There's a few nights where he's out in the streets. So it was a beautiful read. If you're looking for more of a introspective, moral, pensive type of read, this is for you. It's a little bit of a commitment, but it was an easy read. It has about 310 pages, but it's pretty easy to get through. It's riveting, gripping. You won't want to put it down. You always want to get to the next part. There's no chapters. It's about a guy named Charlie Gordon who's retarded, and they do an experiment at one of these New York colleges on a mouse, and they try to make him smarter, a genius, and it works on the mouse. So then Charlie Gordon is going to be their first experiment where they're going to try it on a human. So they take him, he's won the lottery basically, and they take him from an IQ of super low and see what will happen. So this book, you go on a journey with Charlie Gordon through his journal entries. So you get to see where his brain is at the beginning of the novel, which is in kind of retardation status, all the way up to, so I don't know if you can see here. Yeah, he writes these progress reports. See? So instead of chapters, you have progress reports written by Charlie Gordon himself, and you get to see from the inside his brain and what's going on with his thoughts and his feelings and the way he writes and his intelligence level throughout the book. So you go on this journey with this beautiful young man, Charlie Gordon, before his operation, after the operation, as he's continuing to get more and more intelligent, as you can see the relationships change between who was in his life prior to the operation, after the operation. You get to see his memory start to develop, so he can remember as an intelligent person how his relationships actually treated him when he was a child or when he was retarded. Seeing people who he used to think were his friends were actually laughing at him and poking fun at his expense. And he's seeing it now from a different angle. It is so tragic and beautiful. And he goes through these as he gets more intelligent than everyone he knew. I don't know why I keep wanting to hold it on that side. As he keeps getting more intelligent, he then struggles with the same moral dilemmas that they did of how to be nice to people that are under him and intellectually. So the roles are reversed and flipped. And then, of course, eventually, I'm not going to ruin the novel for you, but you see the decline as well later in the novel. The experiment doesn't work, and so you start to see him go back down. So Algernon is the name of the mouse, and he has a close relationship with the mouse because he always identifies with the mouse, as the mouse was first in the experiment of how to get the intelligence higher. So they have a cute little relationship, and throughout the book, it's just heartbreaking to see how much he identifies with this lab rat of having all these people around him put him up on stage and present him like he's this experiment without actually being a human being, and having people not recognize who he was prior to the operation as a human being with feelings and thoughts of his own that are completely valid. So again, this was a recommendation to me by my priest. I had been talking about reading Of Mice and Men, and that's a similar type character, with Lenny being kind of the adult retarded character who struggles with intelligence and how people respond to him. That book didn't really touch my heart very much. You can go back. I did a book review on Of Mice and Men. This one seems like a must read for everyone. It really breaks open your heart and makes you think about things in ways you haven't before, and gives you empathy for people who may not be as intelligent as you, and also people that are smarter than you, struggling to have compassion for those under them. So it's, and also just about the intellect in general, and how in the grand scheme of things, it is not the most important thing when loving your brother. It's not, it doesn't have a Christian tint to it, but it's so beautifully written. Sorry, my dog's whining. She wants to go outside. So if you can hear that, that's Fushi. She's a little 5-year-old Shih Tzu. So that's all I have for you guys today. I highly recommend it. Flowers for Algernon. I read it in a week. It's addicting. It was so beautiful. I cried twice. It's a nice reprieve from the other kind of darker material that I go through. This is really one for the heart. And so that's all I have. I hope you guys have a wonderful November. Talk to you soon.